Welcome to Ideas to Inspire Ideas, which, after a whole year of not making an episode, then drastically changing the direction of my channel, I just want you to know that I am still here, I am still having ideas, still updating them, not wanting to throw them out completely, and instead recycling them for content. Same as always. Now, today's idea is my kids' cartoon Goldfish Pirates, which I am still interested in. There's a poor rendition of the theme song on my Patreon page behind a $1 paywall, which I wouldn't even pay for anyway, but just never mind. It's only 50% of the idea though, because I still want to make the series one day in the very distant future, but the direction I planned, I've already soured on it a little, so please just take the storyline I'm giving you, not the original concept, which I still want to keep. Please. Thanks. Having said that, I do kind of have to give away some of the pilot episode to establish where the plot line goes. The premise of Goldfish Pirates starts with two fish in a fishbowl. The adventure-seeking Flip is bored of swimming around in a circle. Her brother Flop is perfectly happy with where they are. Comfortable, safe, until some accident occurs that they both get flushed down the toilet and end up in a seaside village of large anthropomorphic animals and humans and sentient plant people who are all the same size, even though the two fish started in a fishbowl and somehow ended up elsewhere in the right proportions. Magic realism. The obvious dynamic of siblings being very different. Flip immediately wanting to hire a ship, get a crew, sail the seas. Flop very nervous and fish out of water, obviously. Through the first episode, they catch the eye of the evil pirate of the sea terrorizing the village. Flop has a mental breakdown, stressing out about everything, and a very touching scene of Flip grabbing him saying, "Look, you're my brother, I'm not going to let anything bad happen to you, I will look after you through all of this." Very emotional scene. Then through shenanigans they defeat the pirate and become heroes, only to rob the village immediately after. Off for adventures. And from there it's like SpongeBob slice of life things, Adventure Time insanity, and My Little Pony morals and lessons. Until about halfway through the series, I thought about introducing a sea god of chaos. The backstory would be that literally every god once existed, only limited to their regions, until they kind of built a bunch of machines that did their jobs for them and they all buggered off. I touched on it in an earlier video, but this particular god was a chaos demon that didn't really want to move on, but then grew old and got stuck on an island, which our pirate protagonists stumble on, inadvertently release them, or get into a scheme for the god to come back to power and take over the world. Of course, the mechanisms of the plan are a bit skewy, but like Captain Flip has enough energy to loan to the god so he can take over, but he needs to convince First Mate Flop to get the power off Flip. And with Flop, this is a character who lives on a pirate ship but took a mundane shopping centre job of collecting trolleys and stacking shelves just for the routine and structure of doing the same thing every day, cleaning up just for literally everyone else to come along and mess it up for them, which I have personal experience with. So the idea of offering Flop a return home would be very tempting for him. And a god of chaos promising that he can remove chaos from an area so that Flop can just have a nice quiet life. Like, the god's power isn't just manifesting chaos, it's like manipulating it away from a certain area. Or that's just a big load of lies. Chaos god, trickster sort of thing, obviously. It's setting up a character to betray his sister despite showing every evidence that Flip and Flop are not going to stab each other in the back. It's trying to manipulate a character who was already proven that he's pretty loyal. It's like jumping through a lot of hoops that the show already proved is pointless. A little side tangent about mystery box storytelling. Yeah, I do like film theory, game theory, watch those videos on the internet when I'm not likely to experience the show by myself. If I don't have the time to watch it, I'm fine with spoilers and fan theories. But when I'm actually watching the shows, it's mostly about the personal character growth and all that stuff. When it comes to the big mystery reveals, that really has to be where the focus is. Oh, this piece of world-shattering information. What does that mean to the characters who learn it? One of the biggest examples, Lost. I didn't mind that the island turned out to be the gateway to hell, because it meant that the core characters, by protecting it, automatically get a happy ending in the afterlife. Everyone I loved in the series gets a good ending, except for Michael, due to unfortunate behind-the-scenes BS. Nowadays I have a lot of other reasons to dislike the series, but there you go. No, look at that. I just blew my load before even knowing about the One Last Scene project. Son of a bitch! So, obviously, Flop will be manipulated for a little bit, but then never actually help the god. Somehow the god gets to power anyway and terrorizes the village in a climactic battle that all the main pirate crew has their own little jobs to achieve their character arcs. Two characters are saving the villagers, another couple are being distraction for the god. Even the evil pirate has now redeemed himself and fights for the good of the village. No, their pirate ship, which has a sentient figurehead, actually comes to life and battles the sea god on its own in self-sacrifice. So that's a big climactic, heart-wrenching moment at the end. With their ship destroyed and the god defeated, obviously, the pirates kind of just decide to quiet down and go their separate ways, with a big final montage of everyone living their own lives, ending with Flop on a veranda in a rocking chair, looking at his little grandkids, just slowly drifting off to sleep. Then having a dream of being back in the fishbowl at the start of the series, for Dream Flip to come in, scare him awake, and then it's old Flop, like, ugh. So it's a double twister dream ending. I might actually still use that, but only depending on where the series goes. If the series naturally develops that emotional core, I could still show the end of their lives. That's the thing about long-running TV shows. What's more impressive? That the showrunner had a plan at the start, followed it for years perfectly, never deviated, or that they started with half a plan, improvised the rest of the way, and didn't up the landing when they got there. I think that one's more impressive, really. The point I'm making is I don't mind stories with world-shaping events and high stakes. That's fine, you can build up to it. But you don't go that high when your starting point is a goldfish shooting a cannonball at a squid and the squid's response is, "Yar bollocks." Thanks for watching. This is my verbal declaration that I will not sue anyone for using the previous outline to create their own work, regardless of how much fame or money you might get from it. I'm definitely not the kind of artist who thinks I can own a concept. However, I would like to see what comes out of this video just for comparison and curiosity. If you do make something or find an existing piece that's similar, please let me know through Twitter or Facebook or email, and I'll happily check it out. And if you want to see the ideas I am working on for myself, please visit my Patreon page for samples and previews, no payment required. Happy creating, Bard Riley out! I was a bit of an idiot before I started filming by singing a lot of high-pitched songs. Kept telling myself it's not good, but I didn't give a shit.